I tell you a guy that just moved into the top 10. I've been watching a little bit here. He started back in 29th. Kenny Schrader in the 36 car, and he's actually battling Dave Blaney now for 9th. Kenny started in the 29th position. I talked to Kenny this morning. He said, Larry, my car's driving good. He has had a good race car every race this year. He has had absolutely no luck. He was involved in the big wreck at Daytona, had the engine problem with just a handful of laps to go, which started the fiasco at Rockingham.
Yes.
He just had no luck, but he's going forward today.
I like his crew chief, Newt Moore. He's from old Nashville boy. Used to run at the fairgrounds, and sharp kid. He and Kenny seem to really be getting along well.
Schrader passed Blaney. That's for 9th place. Chris mentioned 2 GM cars in the top 10. They're both Pontiacs, Tony Stewart and Schrader.
Look how much Tony Stewart beat Ryan Newman right there. You saw Ryan Newman look like he jumped in the throttle. The car just took off. He had to back off the gas. Looked like Tony Stewart had 50 more horsepower than he had.
If you got to squeeze up out of that throttle and the other guy doesn't, you know what I say about that.
For more on Ryan Newman, here's Matt.
Well, Mike, an update on the 12. He says his car is tight and he wants to push up off the corner, but he says the car is extremely tight off of turn 4.
And right there it is, off turn 4. That's where he's given up all of the time to Tony Stewart.
And see, that turn is different than turn 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is a little sharper turn. If you let me use that expression, you're just hooking hard all the way around 1 and 2. Off of 3, you go into 3, it's tight. Then you come into the big D part of the racetrack as you exit turn 4, carrying a lot of speed, and you can actually get that nose picked up a little bit and cause the car to push right out, about hit that wall.
DW, how about your man you picked back here? Jeff Burton started in 39th, made those early stop under caution on lap 10, and he's up here to 16th position right now.
Yeah, well, actually, you know, that staying out hurt him because he had to come in and he got caught up at the back of the restart there, but he's doing a good job. I think he's all right.
He's second among the no bull drivers. Tony Stewart in 2nd place.
I think Stewart's going to be the guy to watch today, guys, because he wants that $1 million. He'd like to win one of those bonuses.
He'd like to be the first driver not named Jeff or Dale to claim that bonus.
Yeah, that would be important.
113 laps have been completed. We might be as few as 10 laps away from the next round of pit stops. We'll be back. This is NASCAR on Fox.
Greg, this one you gotta see.
Oh.
That's Leslie's first bath. Look at that little tushy.
That's her little tushy, all right. That cute little tushy that belongs to such an attractive, beautiful woman. Because it's grown up into something else. Nice, big, round tushy. You know, have you seen it? Have you seen it lately? You know. Is dinner coming soon, or is it?
What are you guys doing?
Well, we got these NASCAR decals.
Sterling Marlin, Tony Stewart, the battle for 3rd, Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch. A couple of young guns go at it. Mark Martin is 5th, Bill Elliott, Joe Nemechek up to 7th. And there you see that Kurt Busch has just taken over 3rd place from Ryan Newman.
And he forced his way by him. Well, they went down to turn 3 side by side, and Kurt had to kind of slide up in front of him.
We heard the report on Ryan Newman. His car's starting to push, and the only thing that's going to fix that is coming to pit road, adjustments, and 4 fresh tires.
Give me some new tires.
Dave Blaney and Ricky Rudd. This is for 10th place. Look who's lurking in the wings.
Oh, Jeffy. He did the same thing last year, if y'all remember. We didn't talk much about him. He kind of lurked back in there like that. And when it come time to get that $1 million, he came to the front. Now, he's not going to have that opportunity this week, but still pays a lot of money to win this show.
Yeah, he started 24th a year ago, and you're right. It took about 125 laps. Next thing you know, Jeff Gordon was in the top 10. Next thing you know, he was in the top 5.
Today he started 13th, drifted back a bit, and now battles for 10th.
Car seems to be better. He seems to not be very good on the restarts. Kind of falls back a little bit, but then as they run along, he seems to march back up through there.
Pit stops beginning. John Andretti has been in, so has Mike Skinner.
Jimmy Johnson's in, and you know he was in early last time, so he's down pit road. That's a Hendrick car. Make a lot of smoke, burn a lot of gas.
Rick Mast is also in.
Jimmy Johnson, at the beginning of the race, had a top 10 race car.
Oh, Sterling. Oh, Sterling's getting turned around. Down in turn 3.
There goes the leader.
He got spun around by
Jerry Nadeau.
Jerry Nadeau.
He's on pit road. No caution. No caution.
343.
Oh, he was trying to pit.
And that's how Jerry Nadeau got it in the back of
The
it.
car glove.
Boy, that's sliding it onto pit road.
4, 3, 2, 1. In the block, 4 tires.
Steve?
Well, Mike, looking at the rear end of that number 40 car, I don't see any damage to the body of Sterling Marlin's Dodge. No chassis adjustments for now, but he is going to be penalized for being too fast coming down pit road.
I think I'd have took that penalty while I was still there.
Yeah. Mark Martin is in. Robbie Gordon is in. Jeremy
If you'll watch
Johnny
this,
Benson.
here's what happens. He's slowing down. He's slowing down. Here comes Nadeau. Nadeau gets right. Sterling's on the brakes. Nadeau just nerfed him, kind of got up under the rear of him.
What a save, though.
Spinning around. Now that's what you call headed straight down pit road. Now gas it. Here I come. Told you they slide them in today.
And you know, a couple of things going on right there. You know, Jerry Nadeau, they're down in the middle of the corner, and there's that pit road.
Stewart's almost
almost in the grass coming on the pit road.
You know, he missed it the first time in, and he almost hit pit road then.
It is treacherous coming on the pit road here.
Folks, I know y'all are watching Sterling do a great job of saving his car there, but we almost had another episode just like that.
Nadeau's in. Matt Kenseth, last week's winner. Ricky Rudd, Casey Atwood, Tony Stewart, Ken Schrader. Kurt Busch is in.
Joe Nemechek.
And Nemechek.
There he is.
That's what I was talking about there when we were watching Sterling.
Wallace, Jarrett, Gordon are on pit road, both Gordons. Buckshot Jones is in, Michael Waltrip, and Jeff Burton.
All these scheduled green flag pit stops. Matt Yoakum.
Tony Stewart slid the car sideways. He was very good on exit, but he was tight on the entrance, and as a close call with a 24 car, a close call with a 24, they made an air pressure adjustment in the right front of Stewart's car.
Well, the pits, it's so critical. These guys are under so much pressure, drivers and crews, to make up time in the pits.
Bill Elliott, Todd Bodine, Kevin Harvick have pitted. Kyle Petty's in along with Ricky Craven and Bobby Labonte, Stacy Compton. And here comes Ryan Newman, who is the race leader. Matt?
And remember we told you Ryan Newman was tight all over, extremely tight, up off of turn 4. They were talking about what adjustments to make to the 12 car, and they settled on air pressure, but they were talking about a track bar adjustment as the crew, the Alltel crew, waits for Ryan Newman, the rookie, to get himself to his pit box.
Dave Blaney's come in. All these are green flag scheduled pit stops. Shauna Robinson in. Change on the left rear of Newman's car. Matt?
They might give you a pick up on the wedge adjustment on the rear, the left rear of Newman's car, as Robert Benfield puts the lugs on the front, and the 12 car is long gone.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes on to pit road. Brett Bodine is in.
His teammate Kenny Wallace.
And that's most of the lead lap cars have now been in. Hot Strickland will pick up the lead. Will Davis 23 ahead of Elliott Sadler. I believe they're the only lead lap cars that have not yet pitted. Now here's Strickland, the leader. And he's going to come in. Here's his teammate Ward Burton into his pit. Tommy Baldwin's crew, 4 tires, a windshield tear off, and a full tank of fuel. Wipe of the grill, and away he goes. Let's show you again what happened to Sterling Marlin, who was the leader when he decided to pit.
Now, what's very critical here, get your hand up, Sterling. Get your hand up, tell that guy behind you you're coming in. And it may have been up in the air when he got rooted. I don't know.
But what a save, Darrell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just slid and lined up beautifully. I'm sure he's catching his breath as well as catching a couple of gears.
And that's how you let other drivers know you're coming to pit road, but it's treacherous and it's down in the middle of the corner. You need to start doing it way back on the backstretch. Hey, wave that hand. I'm pitting. I'm going to pit road.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nadeau's thinking Sterling's the leader and I'm racing him.
New leader, the amazing Elliott. You saw our final practice show yesterday. Elliott Sadler pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and he may have done it again.
Can he pull a caution out of the hat? Because that's what he needs right now.
Elliott Sadler didn't pull the rabbit out of the hat. He made a pit stop. So Sterling Marlin goes back to the lead. Now, earlier, we had said that Marlin would be penalized for being too fast on pit road. That was the judgment of the NASCAR officials here in the tower. The call, however, did not get down to the official in charge of Marlin's pit in time for the penalty to be assessed while he was there. So, NASCAR has decided not to bring him back in and enforce what would end up being an overly harsh penalty for the crime.
Yeah, well, I mean, spinning out, or almost spinning out, cost himself a lot of time down there, you know, trying to get on pit road. It wasn't his fault. I'm sure. I mean, I'd give him a pass on that.
Well, he just got passed on the racetrack by Tony Stewart in the 20 car for the lead. Tony right there on the bottom of the racetrack where he has been for 135 laps.
So another situation where a guy was lucky. Tony Stewart misses his pit, goes around, caution comes out. Sterling Marlin spins out coming on pit road almost.
And now Tony Glover can say he's won for 901.
That's right.
Pretty good. They got a break. Here's our Coors Light halfway recap of today's race. Todd Bodine led 17 laps. Jimmy Spencer led 45. Ryan Newman took the point, and then Sterling Marlin.
I have always contended that what goes around comes around. You're going to get some called against you, but when you shouldn't, and you're going to get some that go your way when they shouldn't. And that's the nature of this sport.
And Darrell, you believe it's a fair call?
I think it's a great call.
So the NASCAR officials are explaining now to Joe Gibbs.
Well, he's probably a little easier to talk to now that Tony's past Sterling, but he probably just assumed he didn't have to contend with him. Matt, what are they saying?
Well, Coach, you've inquired about the call on the 40. What are they telling you?
All I know is what I heard. They said, hey, the 40 car's speeding on pit road. The next thing I heard is they let him go out. I don't know what they're doing, to tell you the truth.
A little bit of frustration down here in the 20 pit.
And Mike Helton came over and told us, he said, when we make that call, speeding on pit road, we want to enforce it right away while that car was in the pit box. They were unable to do that. There was a miscommunication. And so, essentially, Sterling gets a pass.
Yeah, because he happened on coming in. He's on the short end of the pit. He's coming into his pit box. Because it's on that end of the track, they could hold him coming in. Now, if he had sped going out, then they would have to bring him back in. But because he's in the pit box coming in, they hold him there 15 seconds.
But since the penalty wasn't applied at the time, they judged it a pass.
Sometimes you have a failure to communicate. Happens to me and Hammond, happens to me and Larry.
Got to communicate.
Got to have that communication.
Tony Stewart is our leader. Sterling Marlin right there. Kurt Busch is third. Mark Martin fourth. And Ryan Newman is fifth. Last week's winner right there, Matt Kenseth. And he's back in 15th position battling Jeff Gordon.
And Mike, I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but folks, you've got to understand that the nature of this sport, it's not like other sports. It's not like football and basketball and baseball. This is based on the circumstances that we deal. This race starts and it never stops. It's green all the way to the checker. And speaking of that, we got a caution.
And we just had heard him say that one of the radio communications said that it looked like there was oil in 3 and 4 there. You heard it again. Caution is out.
But we have to depend on the officials.